find some sort of harmony and balance.
What's up, ladies and gentlemen? BC here. Welcome back to another episode. I just wrapped up a podcast, and there was something I mentioned on the podcast that I wanted to make this video and podcast with that I thought would be a relevant topic for everybody, okay? And it revolved, we had about an hour-long conversation, and some of it revolved around deeper rooted mindset type of things, such as making sure that you're living your life, not someone else's. So what do I mean by that? Well, typically, when most people do a vision board, when most people plan out their goals, what they want to do for their career, and so many other things, it's not coming from them, okay? I'll say it again, it's not coming from them. Meaning, they're not living their life, they're living someone else's life. We know what the classic, we can say, path that's expected of most people. Go to school, go to college, get married, have kids, white picket fence, get that job, retire, die, right? Now, most people nowadays might object to that a little bit more because social media, I get it. But generally speaking, for the last 50 years, that's been the accepted narrative. Now, some people want to do that, some people don't, okay? Now, if you truly want to do all those things and you do it, more power to you. You're living your life. But if you don't, like individuals like me, man, if I lived that way, I would be miserable because I would be living out someone else's life, not my own. So when I'm saying this, is you need to take a look at every single thing in your life, your current relationships, your circumstances, your skill set, your ability to communicate and interact with the world, right? Your career, what you're doing in it, what your expectations and goals are in your career, and all those things, and say, is this me or is this somebody else? Because if you listen to me and you're inspired by me, right? And you're like, man, I'm inspired by BC. I want to make 200 grand next year. But you really don't want to make $200,000, guess what? You're not going to do it. You're going to be unmotivated. All these things that we deal with is because we're not living our own life. Why? Because when you set a goal that you want to do, like I did, that 200 grand my first year, dude, I wanted that shit so bad. It was all I could think about, and I obsessed about it. Day in, day out, lose sleep over it, would go the extra mile, talk to more people. I mean, just over and over and over and over because I wanted it so bad. So bad, so bad. So I didn't have to deal with not being motivated. So when I would get those questions, I'm like, what are you guys talking about? How can you not be motivated to go after what you really want? And then it clicked. People are living someone else's life. So for many of you, when you start to take yourself through this now, most people won't do it, right? Most people won't do it because this requires a shedding of the ego and being a lot more humble with yourself and admitting, hey, what I currently have now, this is the key, a lot of it my current reality may shatter right now if I make these adjustments. Meaning people, circumstances, maybe your career might have to suddenly change. And people aren't willing to accept that. The discomfort of the change, to them, they push to the side and they're not willing to go through it. So they'll take the comfortable misery that they're in over the discomfort of the change, unfortunately. And a lot of people are living in comfortable misery, unfortunately. You might be one of them, right? And I'm not bashing you if you are. It's just you need to have the realization and accept what the truth is if that's the case. And then here's the key. If you're okay admitting it and living that life, that's fine. However, if you're not, I don't want to hear any complaining and we can't hear anything else because now you've acknowledged it and you're refusing to make the change. So if you're the one who desires more, you want the change, then you need to accept what comes with it, meaning your current reality and paradigm may shatter. That's okay. Because whenever we go through these big changes, like when I did transitioning from a professional athlete to real estate, everything shattered. My social circle, my personal image, what I thought about myself. You know, like I suddenly went from being on cloud nine, I'm the shit, I'm the best, and now, I'm a new guy in a new field and I'm worth zero. Wasn't easy, right? Wasn't easy, but I had to accept that and make it through that phase to ultimately get to where I'm at, right? So you need to ask yourself this every day. Am I living my life or am I living somebody else's? Because I look at what I do now and it's incredible. All this stuff that I'm doing now, I either thought of or I created by my own volition because I wanted to do it, because I had the desire, because I had the willingness to do it. And it's fucking cool. I can literally do whatever the fuck I want. It's awesome. So I choose to help you guys sell on these free platforms and teach my students and build my real estate team and all this other stuff because it's what I want to do. pushing myself in calisthenics and all these other things. It's what I want to do. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. And I'm loving every minute of it. And I've earned this position. Why? Because I dared to live my own life. Are you willing to do that? Because this is all up here, ladies and gentlemen. It's not easy. It's a path walked by few. You will be ridiculed. You will be questioned. You may doubt yourself at times, but are you willing to do it? Because to have what's on the other side of it, which is what many of you want, you have to accept the path to get there. There's no way around it. There's no way around it, right? So why do people continue to suffer in this category? Let's look at a parallel category. Let's look at building a sales and real estate business. Instead of doing the traditional work, what does everybody do? Most people who fail, they go to the TikTok influencers and they try to find every way around actually doing the work instead of doing the fucking work that will build your business. It's nuts. Why? Because they won't accept the path that comes with it, which is dealing with your insecurities, having to talk to people, having to do genuine, consistent, hard work without the promise of a paycheck, and all the things that come with building a business. And we continue to make excuses and run away, or, oh, it's old school, it's traditional. That's a bunch of bullshit. It's a bunch of bullshit. You know it's true. This is why I'm still here and I still continue to grow. And you know what I tell people now? I say, when you're done with the gimmicks, come to me and I'll teach you. When you're ready to face reality and be real and do what it takes and actually start to achieve stuff and not run around like a chicken with your head cut off, wasting your time, your money, and being distracted, come to me and I'll lead you to the promised land. But you got to be willing to dedicate yourself and pay the price, because there's no half step in here, right? And even though it's not going to be comfortable, you will be rewarded in the end. And the riches are sweet. They're abundant. They're bountiful. They're exquisite. They're extravagant. And that's what you want. Especially if you come to me, you want more out of yourself and you want more out of life. Otherwise, you wouldn't follow me and you wouldn't listen to me. You respect and honor things like truth, transparency, skills, mindset, personal development, pushing for human potential. You value those things, as do I. That's why you're attracted to what I do. But everything that we do, again, on this path to stardom, to excellence, to success, requires this path that you have to go through. And it is not comfortable. Living your own life, as fulfilling as it is, it's not comfortable either, many times. Eventually, yes. But when you're resisting society and you're resisting all these other things, it's not pretty, it's not sexy, it's not glamorous, but it is worth it. It's worth it. It's worth it. It's worth it to be dissed by others. I mean, look at me. I get dissed by people all the time. But notice they never attack my skills or my results. It's always his hair, his tattoos, blah, blah, blah. He cusses. It's always some bullshit like that. It's always some little personal attack, which is insignificant in the grand scheme of things. Why? You can't deny the results and you can't deny the truth. Sorry. You can have your opinion that you don't like me, fair enough. But you can't deny my results and everything else that I've done and all the platforms that I've built and being a thought leader and all this stuff, even though I technically don't want to be that. I'm coined as that. Fair enough. Fair enough. I accept what comes with it. When you accept it, you have to accept the territory that comes with it. So if I'm going to have some sort of fame, in quotes, whether minimal or maximum, there's going to be some hate and criticism associated with it. Fair enough. But I say again, are you living your own life, ladies and gentlemen? Are you? Because when you are, all the things that I ask of you, all the things that you desire, and all the things that you want to do suddenly fall into place. If you're finding yourself unmotivated, blocked, don't feel like doing anything, you're not living the life that you want to live, period, point blank. Because when you are, all that stuff falls by the wayside automatically. Doesn't mean that it won't be, hard. Doesn't mean that it won't be challenging, but all that stuff falls by the wayside. It suddenly doesn't cripple you. It's suddenly not, here's the key, it's not a legitimate excuse anymore. Not being motivated is not a legitimate excuse. I'm scared to talk to people or make a phone call. It's not a legitimate excuse. It's a story. It's a wannabe excuse. It's not legitimate. Okay? So start to analyze and take a look. Am I living my own life? And start to make the changes, because when you do, you will reach the promised land. Okay? That's it for this one, guys. I appreciate you listening. Check out the links below. Hit me up if you want to talk about real brokerage. We're onboarding a ton of people recently. The coaching and all that stuff is exploding as well. BryanCasella.com if you want to see what we have to offer. Other than that, appreciate the support. We'll see you on the next one. Peace.